Hare Krishna. We
Hare.
have an extremely special guest today for our podcast on Frankly Speaking on folk life. His Grace Sridham Krishna Prabhu. He is in the movement for more than 3 decades, serving in ISKCON Bangalore temple. Today we're going to ask him a lot of questions from which he can enlighten us with his knowledge, and furthermore by his life experiences he's going to teach us, which will be helpful for our spiritual progress.
And suddenly ask, hey, what you people are doing? Why don't you join? Straight away you put this. Actually, my age was, I was already 32 by then.
Temple commander was Jai Chaitanya Prabhu.
Yeah, Jai Chaitanya Prabhu was very nice. At the same time, he was a little tough also. In the old temple, you'll be in the toilet, suddenly there's no water, nothing new. All these things Prabhupada has done in abundance. Difficult times comes for devotees also. Sometimes reversal will come. You will have some idea. The leader may not be gelling with that. Just like this TP meeting and all happened. That's what breaking the head actually. Most of the time it goes in that. Maybe little disturbance also will be there for a day. It should not be always in your head. If somebody does sadhana properly from morning till what are that 4 or 5 hours, that is where we get the strength.
So at that point of when everything is going good, sadhana is also good, my service is also good, I'm getting some fruits, things are being appreciated in the social circle, then how do I maintain my equilibrium and status? Yes, I have humble, it's all done for the Lord. Superficially I can say that, but deep within at the core of the heart, how to develop that?
Don't listen to anybody. Because different devotees will tell different things actually. I'm not actually smart like that in observing all these things. So spiritual life becomes very easy.
When there's no speculation and full authority.
Yes.
Because you just open the temple and there are a lot of deities and shortage of devotees and you don't know how to worship them. In that sense, they'll operate. What we have today, the highest candidate is ISKCON Bangalore.
Actually, Krishna only was running. Prabhupada's mercy, it was going on. And I used to see only couple of devotees are collecting good fund. Why others are what? Others are doing. I always, when the Madhupandit Prabhu, almost 6 months, he didn't sleep night time. Then Madhupandit Prabhu was calling 3-4 devotees daily, 9:30 to 3:30 in the morning. And it was going for 6 months. And in that many devotees were convinced. Prabhu told, you are all intelligent boys. You just go through the folio, you read. You have any question, you ask me. I'm not forcing anything upon you.
So when are you taking sannyasa? Hare Krishna Prabhu. Welcome to Frankly Speaking on Folk Life. As all of us, since you are born in India, born up in a traditional Hindu families, so where you into God-fearing, God consciousness right from the childhood, or it was when you come in touch with the devotees of International Society for Krishna Consciousness, you awakened your God-fearing nature, or it was there from the childhood? How did your mother and father play a role in your childhood for your progress in spiritual life? Or is it a typical middle-class family? Or how was it? We just want to know how it all happened.
Yeah, so for namesake, I was born in a Sri Vaishnava family. Naturally, our parents were devoted. They used to chant a lot of mantras. They used to visit a lot of temples. So during my childhood days itself, I used to just accompany my father basically. And we had a lot of, typically in a middle class family, as you rightly said, we have some satsang, some chanting of mantras. Particularly Sri Vaishnava, they like to chant Vishnu Sahasranama.
Vishnu Sahasranama.
So I used to go and say it mainly because some hearing, I could not figure out anything. And at the end you get some prasadam also. So prasadam was a motivating factor for me. So like that, just by hearing, I also picked up. I used to
Chant Vishnu Sahasranama
by
from
heart
childhood,
actually,
by heart also.
without during those days. Of course, later on, because we are not, not in touch, so I lost it. But still, if MS Subbulakshmi's cassette is played, here and there I can figure out and I'll chant together. Of course, we never knew the meaning. And those generation, we never used to ask question. We are not intelligent also, you can say.
That's your
Like
humility.
today's kids.
They ask questions. for everything.
So many questions they ask. They are doing Atato Brahma Jignasa. We never did all this thing. Just obedient, trying to be obedient. Was going like that. Some connect was there.
Was your mother influential for your spiritual growth in the childhood, or it was your father who used to take you to the temples? or
Because of
something like that?
the family commitment, and we were 5 siblings in the house. So mother was more or less with the attached household chores. And I'm the only son. I have 4 sisters. So, but during summer holidays, vacation, April, May, June, my father was working in railways, Central Railway. He used to get free pass. So, in railway, these are all some attractive features. Any station to any station, first class, we used to travel. So, summer vacation means we go to Chennai straight away, Madras earlier. So, we visit a lot of temples, relatives are there, go to nearby village, some relatives are there, like that. We are molded like that. So, they're all typically a Hindu family, believers of God, chanting mantras, following the sampradaya, acharya, what they are taught. So, like that. Later on, actually, my father was telling you should also get initiated, like that. Actually, I said, okay, what is there? So I got initiated also there. They also have something like first and second initiation. Sammasanam and Bharanyasam, 2 words were there. First and second, equivalent actually. So I got it done also. But it never pervaded in my life like that, particularly after the college days with the friendship. But we used to visit temple and all. That was very common feature.
So you were in Mumbai and used to travel to Chennai during vacations.
Yeah.
So how was your Mumbai childhood memories? Local trains and typical Mumbai lifestyle, vada pav. Any fond memories of Mumbai?
Yeah. Mumbai life is, as we all know, it's like they call it rat race. So now throughout the world it is like that. But Prabhupada also in his lecture he says about Bombay, Calcutta and all. So I remember when I finished my graduation, I did my commerce, graduation BCom. Then I got a job. So it's a place called Nariman Point. So I had to, we used to get up in the morning, leave home at 8 o'clock, typical Bombay life. And have some snacks in the morning, carry our tiffin box. Like that it was happening. And it takes around one and a half hours to reach office. Then again coming back 1.5 hours, like that. So, yeah, it was very hectic. No Krishna consciousness, never not came in touch with Krishna consciousness also. Though a couple of times I have gone with my friends to ISKCON Mumbai, Juhu those days, just like a visitor, go, take darshan, have some prasadam, like that. Actually, Bombay life, any city life actually. I heard somebody, I was speaking to somebody who was working in Reliance, Bombay again, recently. So he was telling he is commuting 2.5 hours daily one way and again 2.5 hours. 5 hours he spends in traveling. And we know there are few people who are working in government department from Bombay to Pune.
They travel.
They travel daily by train. The Deccan Queen, one famous train was there. something like Queen traveled in the train. So it came to be known as Deccan Queen like that. It starts from Bombay, straight away next stop is Pune only. Those days also it was there. So almost 3 hours it takes. So from your house, go to station, catch the train, then finish your office work, again come back. So life was like that.
Then after Bombay, I heard that you were in Muscat for a long time. You were a registered chartered accountant. You were practicing it there. So how was your life in Muscat? Again, any touch of temple, Krishna consciousness there? Or where were you introduced to Krishna consciousness? It was Bombay or in Muscat or in Bangalore?
Yeah. So I got introduced in Muscat only. I have done my company secretary actually, not chartered accountancy. And that too I never cleared my final. I had to clear 2 papers. Before that, I got a job in Muscat, which I was not at all interested to go. My cousin was there, so he was pulling me, and my uncle from here, he's pushing, no, you should go. What do you learn in Bombay? You can make good bucks and come. So they are pushing, and I just went like that. And there, my super boss, he was after me from 1988, if I recall, 88. Please come for this satsang, please come for this satsang. So just like here, folk boys are there. You have to go on pestering them, come, come, come. So like that, I was also avoiding that. I was very closely, we had a good relationship with that super boss. I'm in touch with him now also. So I have a lot of gratitude because he only took me to that satsang. But it took me almost 1.5 years. After his repeated calling, I went there. And then the journey started. It was in a temple, some bhajan was there. In a Krishna temple in Muscat.
So Muscat had the Krishna temple those days also?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Particularly of all the Middle East countries, Oman was very tolerant, and the king was very, very nice person. He studied in Matheran, in Maharashtra, in Bombay for a while. So somehow he had a very good, he likes Indians actually. In fact, those days I still remember there were 3 or 4 top businessmen. They were all Gujaratis. They went and started the business in Oman. And in the early days, 1965 or 1970, the currency was Indian rupees only there.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Later on, maybe by mid-75 or something, Riyal Omani was the exchange. So, yeah, so I went to that Krishna temple when Prabhu Mataji was there, and she was singing very nicely devotional song, Carnatic-based song, glorifying Krishna, and 2 boys were there. Like that, that was my first entry. So these 2 boys, typically like we have a folk guide here. So any new person comes there, they go and talk. So they were talking to me and telling about this program. Weekly once we have this bhajan here on Tuesday, if I am not wrong. And every Thursday, Friday, we had a holiday those days on Thursday and Friday in the Middle East. So Friday we had a big program, like in ISKCON temple we have the Sunday program, Sunday feast like that. So I was the 5th guy to join the satsang in the year 1990, end March actually, somewhere. So once you come in touch, they ask you to chant. So it was actually little troubling me. So I used to chant, okay, they're telling so much. So I used to chant 2 rounds for a while, then went to 6th round. Like that, its journey started. And I still remember on October 2nd, Gandhi Jayanti in India, there also some holiday had come. So that Prabhu and Mataji used to, no, minimum 16 rounds. Daily they used to tell me actually. I thought, chalo, let me try today. Holiday started. So by Prabhupada's mercy, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, Krishna's mercy, somehow the journey is going on. And it was a very wonderful year also, 1990. Madhupandit Prabhu, Jai Chaitanya Prabhu and Maharaj came there for the first time in Muscat. Muscat is the capital of Sultanate of Oman, a small kingdom. So there we got a lot of association. We had very few people only practicing that time. So Maharaj stayed for 3 days and he pushed off. By then we had already, Krishna consciousness preaching was going on in Bahrain, Dubai. Already these centers were there. Maharaj used to go there. So seeing Jai Chaitanya Prabhu in saffron clad and all this thing, playing nice, singing nicely, playing mridanga gently, all this thing. Little attraction was there, and Madhupandit Prabhu spent a lot of time. They were there for a week actually, practically. They just came around Christmas time, and last week of December they were there, 1990. And later on, after that, actually preaching picked up like anything in Muscat.
It was Bhakti Vriksha model preaching, or it was called out by different name?
Yeah. So those days, house program, that Prabhu Mataji, the Prabhu was a computer person in a bank heading the computer department. And in his house, we are having a program. So it was like a temple, like he had a big house also. Later on, he got a big villa, all this thing. So that it started like that. And slowly then, I was the 5th person there. Slowly we were trying to expand. We used to go on a holiday, that Friday and all we used to go, just like we do Padayatra, folk preacher, all fundraiser generally in India they do this concept of Padayatra. So we used to enter, knock somebody's house, sing the Rangoli outside their house and all. So like that, we got some people getting to this fold. Slowly it was building up, and very soon, maybe within a year or so, it was building up like anything. And every 3 months, Maharaj used to come, and some assistant from our Bangalore temple. I think Stoka Maharaj has also come. Jai Chaitanya Prabhu has come. Like that, few devotees used to accompany them.
How long you continued to work in Muscat? When was the transition to come to Bangalore?
Yeah.
How did Bangalore come into your life?
So this Bangalore connect was there because of Madhupandit Prabhu's visit and all. Then 90, it all things started. 91 when I was coming to India on vacation. So I planned and visited ISKCON Bangalore. We were in a small shed those days.
Hare Krishna Hill?
Hare Krishna Hill. By then, Hare Krishna Hill, there was a thatched roof. You would have seen the asbestos sheet and all. Construction had just begun. Foundation was there. We have come up to maybe the ground level like that. A lot of digging and all. 2 years went in there. So, like that. And we had only one guest room actually. That guest room was used by any visiting person, Sanyas, senior leaders, everybody like that. So Madhupandit Prabhu told you stay in the ashram only. So before joining itself, I was in the ashram, 91. 3 days I was there. I was doing some book counter service, some menial service like that, pot washing maybe. And then after 3 days I went back.
How many devotees were there at the time in ashram?
Maybe around somewhere between 15 and 20 were constant. It was there like that. 91 this was. Again 1992. So by then I started practicing, and there also preaching is very successful. Later on 92 and all there, almost 500 people used to attend a class. When Maharaj used to give in the morning in the same Krishna temple, they had a big auditorium backside. Maybe 400, 500 people used to attend Bhagavatam class in the morning. Evening Bhagavad Gita class, Maharaj used to speak in Bengali also. A lot of Bengali folk and all these guys will be there. Workers category of that. They were also coming chanting like that. So 92 when I came, I stayed for almost 9 days.
In Bangalore?
In Bangalore, same in the ashram and all like that. Again, second year. So when you are staying one of the days, Madhupandit Prabhu was giving the Bhagavatam class that day. So because we are familiar and he speaks Tamil also, so like that we are connected more. So after the class, when you see some new boy, new person, generally Prabhu gives the garland.
Right.
So he gave that garland to me. Then he suddenly asked this question, what you people are doing there? I was wondering why Prabhu is asking like this. He knows what we are doing. We are trying to bring more people. That was our agenda. That's what we have been told to do that. And suddenly he asked, hey, what you people are doing? Then something prompted me. I said, Prabhu, we are all waiting for your order. Like that, something prompted I just told. I didn't say, I'm waiting for your order. I didn't have the guts. And around that time, one more, the boy who was nicely helped me in Krishna consciousness in so many aspects. One Gopal Gauranga was there. See, he was bent upon joining Bangalore temple. So they were holding on him for more than 1 year or so. I am constantly noticing that.
This was in Muscat.
This was in Muscat. And here he is asking me like this. Why don't, what you are doing there? Then I gave this time. Okay, is it so? Madhupandit Prabhu stared at me. Then he said, okay, you take breakfast, prasadam, come and meet me. So I went and met him. So he asked, hey, what is your family background? And typically I told, I'm the only son, all sisters, 4 sisters married. I said, yes, Prabhu, whatever you say. I didn't know what I was doing actually. And in fact, actually Krishna culture life is so nice, correct? You see some congregation there, living with family. And actually my age was, I was already 32 by then. So my family members, my father, they were concerned, they were trying to fix some alliance, all these things. So that was the scene, and here he is asking, okay, Prabhu, what are you saying? Then he said, okay, you go back home to Muscat, resign and come back. And I just joined 2 or 3 days before Rath Yatra in 1993, January. So like that, the journey started, somehow it's going on.
So when you joined, there were other devotees who joined along with you. Amitasana Prabhu also joined with you, the 4 or 5 of them who joined.
Yeah, 4 of us joined. That was a big news in whole of Bangalore also. What happened to me is more or less happened to Amitasana also. Another 2 from Infosys, they joined actually. One Namanishta Prabhu was there, one Anuttama Tattva. So I was the last in the batch. So December 10th to January 20th, in the 40 days, 4 devotees joined. It's a big news. And particularly in Infosys, because both of them were from IIT Kanpur. So that HR manager, sometime I meet in Bangalore now also, one lady was there, Ema Ravichandran. So the management asked them, what is happening? All the IITians are going and joining ISKCON like that. So those are the days actually.
So Prabhu, you joined in the year 93 January, and 1907 the temple got inaugurated, one of the iconic monumental temple ever built in the history of ISKCON. That was ISKCON Bangalore. So those 4 or 5 years, you would have seen hardships of devotees in raising money and construction challenges. So can you share some life learning examples and experiences which you would make the audience more faith towards Krishna, faith towards the Srila Prabhupada's instruction more strong and powerful?
Yeah, it was a very tough time. And all the devotees actually in ISKCON Bangalore, mostly predominantly they were all fundraiser only. Like LPP preachers, life patternship program preachers, raising fund. I still remember maybe around those days itself we have more than 15 plus teams and all. So everybody goes out in the morning we have the morning rigorous program from 4:15 to till breakfast about 9:30, 9:45. Then all these fundraisers, they will all leave by 11, 11:30, some even by 10 o'clock like that. And all of us had an auto. We used to go and nook and corner of the city, Bangalore. A lot of outstation preaching also in Karnataka because there was no temple like that. So we used to go everywhere, Mysore, Hubli, Dharwad, Chikmagalur, like that. Any contact you get, you just go on tapping like that. So very interesting aspect was happening. And slowly money was also coming in. Because as we all know, it's abundant quarry. And by then 93, some shape is coming up. So people are observing, okay, some activity, some temple is going to come. So when we are going and telling and meeting people, they are also reciprocating. And if you see in the Bangalore boomed also because of IT, late 80s and early 90s, all these Infosys, Wipro, TCS, they had a big thing, activity going on. And when the IT companies flourishes, all the real estate flourishes, so everything, business, that mood was very nice. So people had a lot of money. And the construction part, temple, actually Madhupandit Prabhu and Bhaktivedant Mataji, they flogged like anything actually.
Can you share some instances of Madhupandit Prabhu personally or Bhaktivedant Mataji? So that we can take inspiration from them. Some instances.
So
you were there also personally involved.
So Prabhu, I still remember that Madhupandit Prabhu morning program. We are all together and chanting. All this thing happens, and then like any other preacher, Prabhu also goes to the site, and construction activities going on.
I heard you would make the laborers also chant one round of Hare Krishna.
Yeah. He used to make them chant and all details I don't frankly remember. But they were chanting, everybody was chanting. And even I remember one Christian supervisor was there, like typical admin facilities. And Christian he was there, nice person he was. So he also used to chant like that. And Prabhu goes to the project work, and he had few volunteers also, people from the very good, the same industry, construction industry, they volunteered, retired person. We are in touch with one family also, like that. They all came together. And we all know Jai Chaitanya Prabhu, who was also IITian, who was very young to Madhupandit Prabhu. He's actually a Christian. He was very good in design and all this thing. So they only roughly came with the idea, and all this pyramid thing, it was his idea actually. He was also initiated actually. Very jovial, very nice person. So they used to crack, they used to think, construction and all this thing. And work goes on, money later on, every week we had to shell out maybe 10 to 15 lakhs. Those days it was a very big amount actually for labor. Peak years, like I still remember 95, 96. MP Madhupandit Prabhu's always strategy is he will give some date or temple inauguration or temple, then only devotees will start working. And otherwise we all like to relax, correct? So a couple of times it got postponed also. Due to various reasons, it will be one of the things is fund coming in. So then, initial budget, we all know it was some 3 crores, something Prabhu thought he will land up spending. Then it went up to 6 crores. The project was he was getting newer and newer ideas. So it came to 6, then he thought maybe 10 CR we can finish. Finally, we almost spent more than 35 crores in the project. So, this is the thing. And next day morning sometime, so we all sit together in the main temple hall after Mangala Aarti, we all chant together. Suddenly Madhupandit Prabhu will get some idea. Oh, maybe it's a good idea, some idea is coming. Come on. So we also, Japa time, we want to go around, correct? We'll just go, we'll climb all this thing. Construction is going on. So original plan, maybe some of you may be knowing that they had a plan to have Balaji and Narasimha also in the main temple only.
Okay, instead of 3 altars, we'll have 5 altars altogether.
5 altars, that was the plan. So one day, this chanting time, only Madhupandit Prabhu got this idea because the topography is like that, correct? It's a hillock. So devotees will come in like this. Then he thought, why not make 2 separate temples for Narasimha and Balaji? So the concept also, it's something like, it's like a Vaikuntha Loka there. There Krishna is sitting in the Goloka. some idea he got.
Devi Mahesha Haridama Shatesha Tesha.
So he took us and we are all excited. Like that it all started. And 1997 inauguration. The last 1 year, amazing work happened. Everybody coming forward, helping, cooperating, giving money. Happened like anything actually.
Any instances where there was acute shortage of money and someone comes in and, Swamiji, rakhi aap.
Yeah.
Anything
Many times it has happened actually. MP Madhupandit Prabhu will be knowing more about that. But it was always happening. That has always been the case. We never sit on cash.
Correct.
We are not a cash-rich temple like that. But Krishna says, Yoga Kshema Mahamyam. So he is providing what we lack and is preserving what we have. So Krishna was giving now and then ideas, money, then slowly devotees are joining. Everything went on very well actually. In 1997, the temple was inaugurated. And till the last day, you would have heard in that Brahma Utsav cassette also, a couple of years before, that Silver Jubilee time some recording was done. Morning Mataji, full night Mataji, Bhaktivedant Mataji, Chameri Mataji, and a couple of Mataji, they're cleansing the temple like that. We didn't have that much labor like that. They are all busy in construction also. So till early morning, 3 o'clock, 3:30, brooming, cleaning like that, it was happening. And finally, Lord manifested out of his causeless mercy.
So I heard the story of a dog, black dog, Madhupandit Prabhu going along in the night. So what's the story of a dog? Can you just share those thought process?
So there was a dog. It always be by the side of Madhupandit Prabhu and Chanchalapati Prabhu's house only. We were all in one shed actually. Temple is there, above that ashram is there, little here, Prabhu and Mataji's house was there, simple single room like that. The dog always used to sit outside their door only.
Okay.
And when Mataji or Prabhu feed, then only the dog will eat.
Okay.
So like a very, very attached to Prabhu. So suddenly Prabhu will get some idea in the night also like that. He'll go. Dog will also accompany. Of course, it was on a hillock, not much dog barking, but down ground, little here and there will be there, but he will never mingle with that. So he was
He
going
wants to have
like,
association of Vaishnavas only.
yeah. And Prabhu used to call, he had kept the name Jaggery, if you heard that, Jaggery. Jaga, like that he used to call. So immediately wag the tail and go with Prabhu anywhere. Very nice. So it is always there with Prabhu. And you know how it left the body also. There we buried in the same Hare Krishna hill. One day somehow it was not feeling well, feeling very uneasy. So they had taken dog to the doctor, veterinary doctor. And there it was feeling so uneasy. It's just shouting, what is called dog? Barking and making different noise. Mataji and all can figure out actually. So it was very uneasy. So okay, some medicine, something doctor had given, I think she brought him to the temple. After coming to the temple, the dog left the body actually.
Oh, yeah.
So like that.
Bro, I heard Bhaktivedant Mataji and Chamari Mataji also used to go for fundraising and if you can.
Yeah, before I joined, they were doing actually. Chamari Mataji, she had some very good donor contact. Like that. They should see, now we are all enjoying Srila Prabhupada's austerity. This older devotee in our group, Madhupandit Prabhu, Chanchalapati, they are slogged actually. Now we are sitting in the AC room, going out, we have a car, driver. Those days nothing was there. Madhupandit Prabhu used to go in two-wheeler and all early days.
That bullet which you were privileged to have.
Yes. So like that. Yeah, Mataji, I heard that they used to go in a
BMTC buses.
BMTC bus. In
With child.
Bangalore, it's so horrible actually. So crowded. It's not regular. No fixed times. Very tough actually. So they're gone in that.
Those hardships.
They've gone through hardship. They are practicing for almost 40 years plus now. 4 decades they are completed.
And they are senior than Madhupandit Prabhu and Chanchalapati Prabhu in Krishna consciousness.
Almost like somewhere like that you can say. Almost together.
Because we generally tend to know about Madhupandit Prabhu and Chanchalapati Prabhu, but Bhaktivedant Mataji, Chamari Mataji, we hardly get to know about them.
Almost 4 decades you can say.
Prabhu, when we were in Hare Krishna Hill, when you joined temple, the temple commander was Jai Chaitanya Prabhu. So how was his dealing and any life lessons from that? Any life lessons and how now it's a little very cozy, goody, and
Jai Chaitanya Prabhu was very nice, very helpful. He used to guide. At the same time, he was a little tough also. So, because you have to do your duty like that. So just like Krishna was very soft like rose or lotus flower, it is mentioned, and hard like thunderbolt. So Jai Chaitanya Prabhu was also like that. Nice person actually, very practical person. You can go speak with him, easily approachable. So lot of hardship, lot of tapasya. Jai Chaitanya Prabhu, Bhaktivedant Mataji and Madhupandit Prabhu, they were very instrumental in getting the deities also made in the Kumbhakonam and all these places. So again and again they'll travel actually. So much traveling, some old car.
And they met with an accident also.
Yes, all that. So like that, lot of they are slogged actually. Now also they are slogging.
Prabhu, you were a roommate of Amitabh Prabhu. He used to sleep down on a bunker and used to sleep on top.
Yeah, in my this thing, because Amitabh Prabhu when he joined like a bhakta, he was not initiated and all. And because of my maybe familiarity or whatever it is, one length hall was there like that, maybe 20 bunk bed like that. Brahmacharya ashram, that was the thing. One small portion was for library books and all were there. And one more small portion, little ahead of that, there was a small room. So there were 2 bunk bed actually. Only 2 bunk bed can go in. So Sri Sri Prabhu was down and Chitranga Prabhu was top. Just adjacent to that, Stoka Maharaj was down. I was top there actually. So like that we all started with bunk bed and today you see we all have an independent room, attached bath, maybe air condition. Anything you want, you just call, thing comes in, fall. Those days when we go to bathroom, suddenly in the old temple, you'll be in the toilet, suddenly there's no water. Typical in the house and all, it happens, correct? Then some brahmachari climb up, see on the motor, all these things we have gone through actually. So, anyway, so it is a thrill and
this happens when devotees today, they have to go and open a new center there. So they'll not have the privilege of a bigger temple. So now we are in a mood to expand further. So any instruction and guidance for them, any blessings for them, so that how they should take the hardships and further work hard for Krishna and Prabhupada.
Yeah, particularly in a small temple, even in a small temple also, devotees get a lot of opportunity to learn a lot of things actually. You become an all-rounder like that. I still remember one devotee couple of them used to drive also. So anybody coming, he will go and in the Maruti van, pick him from the railway station or airport, like that and all. That is there and there will be no department. If only 5-6 devotees are there, there is no PR department, folk department, everything you have to learn. So it's a nice opportunity for a young devotee particularly to learn all the aspect of Krishna consciousness and like that it's a good opportunity actually. Austerity will be there and Krishna also recognizes that and he chooses some devotee to go and do some special preaching effort to take up some special preaching project or whatever it is. So when we I always used to tell, and I always get inspired seeing Srila Prabhupada's life. In fact, everybody should get inspired in ISKCON. Nothing new. All these things Prabhupada has done in abundance, single-handedly. Cooking, feeding, cleansing. He has done everything actually. So sometimes when we are a little low, when we are feeling low, you just think of Prabhupada. Prabhupada. And just thinking of Prabhupada, the pure devotee, automatically you will be out of that situation. So somehow by Prabhupada's grace, I always connect that actually. Sometimes difficult times comes for devotees also. Sometimes reversal will come. You will have some idea. The leader may not be gelling with that. Because we may not be able to understand, comprehend what is the plan. So we just follow. Best thing is to follow the authority and take the inspiration from Srila Prabhupada and always association
Why
with
do you say that best thing is to follow the authority? On what understanding or what basis you are saying that you can?
See, we all come to spiritual life. We know at some point of time Krishna has triggered us. Particularly when we join, there is some special force coming in. We all come, Sarvadharman, Parityaja, Krishna is the only goal, all these things, correct? Anybody coming in the way, you left and right, you father, mother, brother, anybody coming, our friend, we just, whatever little we know, we quote verses and then this is. See that inspiration, that motivation is there initially. Later on, if you see, for a devotee, sometime there's also some devotee, I still remember, he used to ask Madhupandit Prabhu in our ISKCON, Brahmachari ISKCON, maybe 20-25 years before. Prabhu, what happens over a period of time, our enthusiasm comes down. People, sometimes devotees feel like that. Actually, enthusiasm should not come down. It should always be increasing little by little. So if we follow this process, authority, why? Because Prabhupada has again introduced this. It's not somebody has manufactured, correct? So it has got a sanctity. And we can have a very peaceful spiritual life. Instead, if you do something on your own, always, we are all individual, we all know. We come up with the idea, fine. You go on, just convey to the immediate authority or president or whatever it is. And they know what is the overall plan, if it fits in now, or they'll tell, please wait. And we are also thinking on that line. So we should be patient. So we should be the followers actually, because that is our Sampradaya teaching also. We should follow the leader. Outside world also it's like that. So then we are safe actually. We don't get into complication. Like the day one we give up, we know only Krishna is the protector. Somehow Lord has touched us. We have read books, associated with devotees, chanting Hare Krishna. We have come to conclusion that this is the goal. After coming here sometime, we get into so many things, start comparing. Oh, he is doing that, the peer. Oh, he is doing big service. We understand from teaching that whatever service we do for Krishna, from Krishna's point of view is one and the same thing. Prabhupada used to give this, a cow rendering service to Krishna and Srimati Radharani rendering service to Krishna. From Krishna's point of view, it's one and the same.
Generally, devotees have this comparison and judging. मैं और तुम एक साथ join किया 20-25 साल पहले. आज मेरे पास गाड़ी है, लैपटॉप है, position है, designation है. तुम तो वही के वही रह गए. So
yeah. So we should try to come out of all this misconception. When we are outside, we are doing the same thing. Now we have understood Krishna conscious philosophy. We should slowly, of course, natural tendency will be there because of our past desires and vasanas and all. But I can assure you, I can guarantee, actually management thinks from these angles and all. Nothing is done just like that. No. Just like this TP meeting and all happened. That's what breaking the head actually. Most of the time it goes in that. If you see how, because we are given up all this social life and all. Even when we come to the devotee life, trying to please Lord, these things will come in the way. But we should be guided by this Prabhupada's transcendental knowledge from the message of Bhagavad Gita, from the scriptures. So, sometimes we will go, very unjust, management is very unjust towards me. See that devotees enjoy. It's not like that. There will be so many permutation, combination. Actually, in our group, we are very blessed actually.
Just like, I am better speaker, I'm a good singer, my videos have a lot of views, likes, and he doesn't have, although he's the comparison, the judging, I'm a better devotee.
Correct.
So this kutinati is that, puja pratishtha labha, it's very difficult to overcome. So how to deal with such things, especially for devotees who are watching this, if you can enlighten.
Yeah. So that's what, the same thing, all these things, we are all looking for all these things. When we are in the outside world, we are looking for this. When you have come to this, you are wearing this robe and all, then we should have the knowledge. Of course, the thought may come. So when the thought comes, it has to be, we should have the transcendental knowledge so that we are not disturbed. Maybe little disturbance also will be there for a day. It should not be always in your head. So that's why it calls for practice. And all these problems, all the older devotees would have seen, mostly it comes because somebody is lagging in some anga of devotional service, particularly sadhana. If somebody does sadhana properly from morning till 4 or 5 hours, that is where we get the strength. Then you can easily understand, appreciate, okay, whatever comes. We have words like Tatte Anukampam Sushimikshamana Bunjana Evatma Krit Vipakam. When reversal come, how we have to act, all these things. So, that Buddhi Krishna will give. For that, this sadhana, particularly I have seen these people who are lagging bit in sadhana, they get into all these things actually.
Bro, when reversal happens, it's understandable. Now you have to come down, calm down. It hits you back. But when you're apparently successful, you're making a lot of strides in Krishna consciousness, you're doing a lot of so-called bigger services, that you fail to recognize that fall. So at that point of when everything is going good, sadhana is also good, my service is also good, I'm getting some fruits, things are being appreciated in the social circle, then how do I maintain my equilibrium and status? Yes, I am humble, it's all done by the Lord. Superficially I can say that, but deep within at the core of the heart, how do you develop that?
Yeah, so that it calls for a practice particularly. That's why we have to become humble, no? On our own we cannot achieve anything. We should always understand Lord has given this opportunity to be a small instrument in His hand. For Lord it is nothing, no? What is this big fundraising or singing, everything? I am the ability in man, Krishna says. Everything is given by Krishna. Everything is given by God. So we have to recognize that. Somebody may do some extraordinary service. Okay, Krishna has allowed him. Let him do. Nice. So, this again all comes to the same foundation. If we are backed, sadhana is backed with this transcendental knowledge, then we can easily come out of all these things. Whether I am a bada devotee, I am a... What is this bada, chota? That's why Prabhupada says, in our movement there is no big devotee.
Yeah, small devotees. Everyone is expected to chant 1600 and follow for it.
Everybody is supposed to attend the morning program and all. So not that you become president, you can just skip manga. It doesn't work like that. So our consciousness will be affected. Of course, there are some exceptions. Are there some health reason, whatever it is, now and then, that's okay. But
For the audience who are watching this podcast, so just like a doctor or an engineer or any professional will have their own challenges, being a monk or wearing the saffron robes is not the end of the day. It's a lifelong process. Ups and downs do happen in devotees' life also. That is the point what we are discussing here. Prabhu, you've been in the service of taking care of the deities for close to 10 years, in the head Pujari in the ISKCON Bangalore temple. So any realization or reciprocation from the deities or which you would like to share, or your attention while taking care of the deities?
Maybe around 6 years I was Pujari. I came to Pujari department by it so happened like that. There was some emergency and I was called in the year 1995, 30th January. I still remember the day, 29th January 1995. And I am serving Rajbhog Prasadam. CP was telling, no, Sridham. I used to like serve Prasadam for devotees.
Even now you do, bro.
Nowadays I'm not doing, I'm just taking service. So when I was serving, Prabhu told, no, you sit from 4 o'clock, Pujari. Huh? Pujari? I don't know anything, Prabhu, about this. I never even thought of it. Though I am there for the program, all these things. He said, no problem, there is some emergency. We have decided. That time I was doing some fundraising. We, 3-4 of us, we used to raise those days also a little fund. So they were thinking whom to pull out of the fundraising. So finally they decided, maybe whatever reason, I got the chance. So I came out and almost...
So you didn't feel bad that I'm a leading fundraiser and now they're putting me into DT service. What is this?
So now they told, I just accepted and I did. I didn't know ABC, nor I had a flair, frankly, for deity worship. Then Prabhu told, no, there's an emergency you do. There's from 4 o'clock on Anand Tirtha devotee was there. He will come, he'll help you. And morning, actually, Chameri Mataji came. She was helping me, actually. She was teaching. See, they know everything, actually, deity worship, everything they've done. So, Mataji came, day after day, she was coming, actually, morning and helping me. And we had only, of course, small Usamurti, Krishna Balaram. So, polishing and all the things, little deity dressing.
Those devotees who were into Pujari services, any point of suggestion?
Yeah, J.C. Prabhu was also, when he was teased temple commander, so he was suggesting, he called me and told, see, only 2 things Prabhupada always speaks about deity worship. One is cleanliness and one is timeliness. We have to be on time and we have to be clean, maximum possible way. So these were the 2 things. Then I used to read folio like that and all them happened. And one interesting event happened. I'm not actually smart like that in observing all these things also. So one Pujari who got into trouble, so he had to hand over to me, correct? So he was little speculating also here and there those days. So he said, while you are feeding the Lord, you should remove the ayuda. Correct? Generally it sounds good. Okay, he has been worshipping, he is telling. I didn't counter check. So what happened? I removed Krishna and Balaram's ayuda. Krishna holding that this thing and holding churning. And Balaram's hala I removed. It was a Rajbhog Aarti on particular day. And I was not knowing to blow the conch also. So an assistant Pujari was there. He was good in blowing the conch. So he used to blow conch for me. So like that. So these 2 things are always in my mind. Cleanliness and timeliness. And what happened one particular day, this Pujari told immediately the first day I removed the ayuda. I didn't notice also, when you are removing, you should see, correct? Then you have to place it before the aarti. I removed the ayuda. I didn't notice properly. This timeliness and cleanliness is in my mind. And then after offering that mantra, all this thing, Bhoga is done, kept the plate. Aarti plate is ready, I am about to start Aarti. Before that, ayuda I have to place. That Pujari had told me to do. Then I removed that butter churning rod like this, correct? In our
Yes,
temple,
yes.
in our position, it is facing down like this.
Yes.
So I forgot how to, I didn't
How to place
see
it.
how to keep it back
Back.
properly. And I am seeing 12:30 Rajbhog Aarti has to start. So what I did, I kept it upside down.
Upside down. Okay.
And on that particular day, MPP, his house is there, project is there, he'll go up and down, something idea, he'll go there, come, work something, again go, like that. So whenever he pass temple, it is recommended, correct? We pay namaskaram. And Mataji was also there, Bhaktivedant Mataji, they came forward and they did namaskaram. They are seeing that I am doing Aarti. I know there is something wrong has gone. And Mataji and Prabhu, they are laughing and I don't know what to do, whether to ask. So I just continued my activity. Jai Sri Prabhu, temple commander, is just outside the temple only. Altar only. We are all in one roof, correct? One small cabin was there. So Prabhu also came. Prabhu also saw that. He also started laughing. मैं सोचा गया छुट्टी हो गया मेरा. Then immediately Prabhu sent a message with the assistant Pujari. Asked Sridham to see me after the Aarti.
Come to office.
Hare Krishna ho gaya, I thought. Then Prabhu called, so somehow I finished the Aarti and I went immediately. Then he was speaking, who told you, what is this? You have committed, you have done one big mistake there. It was actually first or second day only, I think. So, yeah, Prabhu, I know something has gone wrong. You are all coming in. So I don't know how to go about, whether to stop the Aarti, ask or something like that. I said, no, don't worry. That's okay. So what you have done is, what you have done, he told and he explained, okay. And then he gave instruction, you don't listen to anybody. Because different devotees will tell different thing actually.
Don't listen to anybody. Different devotees will tell differently.
Different.
Adhere to your authority.
So he said, any doubt, anything you have, you come to me. I will guide you. Don't worry. Don't think I am very busy or something. Whatever it is, anytime you can come like that. I am here only always. So that was a confidence, and this was some funny thing. Then later on, they used to pull my leg also. Madhupandit Prabhu also was telling. So like that. So initially when we are doing deity, and challenges, that Utsamurti will not have that, to place the garland on them.
It's not easy.
It's not easy in the sense, it will all slip off. Now also if you see in our Radha Krishna temple, Hanuman and Garuda has got a wing like that. So garland will go and sit here. In case of Hanuman, you have to press it and all little. Then also sometimes it falls. So putting a garland, a regular garland, simple garland goes and fits. Somebody brings a nice garland, jasmine garland, and they will, those days we had few donors, Swamiji, please put on the deity. Oh, it became a big tension for me. So you have to put and it will not stand. And so like that and all. But again, the underlying principle is just to follow what you have been told. See again that authority system is working. Different devotees, they will have their own way of. I remember later on actually when I was heading the Pujari department, that also came by default to me, that service. So
it falls on your head.
it fall in my plate actually. So then Jai Sri Prabhu only told, hey, you overseer. They are all young devotees and all. So anyway, that's going on. So in that one very innovative devotee was there, young devotee was there. Once he made, you would have seen in some temple and all, maybe Durga temple or something, the lemon garland they put. So for Narsimha, he made a lemon garland and put. Jai Sri Prabhu called and fired him. What is this? What are you thinking? You do anything or like that. One more Pujari did, in some ISKCON temple, Radharani, in our Radha Krishnachandra, Radharani is in the mood of blessing. Ashirvad, she's blessing like that. So devotee has seen in Mayapur or Vrindavan, Radharani holds a chamara or something like that. So the devotee, they used to come and tell me, Prabhu, we should try this, that. Any devotee, chalo encourage karega. So on Sunday it happened actually. He had kept a chamara in her hand actually. This hand, he had kept a hand. So it's a blessing. She is there, different mood there. So again, J.C. Prabhu called that Pujari and me also. So like that. So a lot of learning is there. So spiritual life becomes very easy.
When there's no speculation and follow authority.
Yes, yes. At the same time, you can come out with some idea, even folk preaching. Folk preaching, I still remember once on that Ajit Punja, Anuttama Tattva I told, one of the four who joined together. He was very fired in preaching actually. He was only organizing in the IIT Kanpur some classes from Vrindavan, Sanyasi, senior devotees used to go like that. So he was already Krishna conscious. So once he came to Madhupandit Prabhu, Prabhu, we should try to go and preach in the women's college like that you told. Good intention
good
only.
intention.
Correct?
Yes.
And because we read from Prabhupada book, women, they are all very simple, they'll easily
Easy to
accept.
preach.
Then MPP Bindas, no, he said, what you will preach here? You will get preached by these women like that, and all Prabhu cut off his this thing. Like that. So something, some novel idea, something we may come across. You can put it across to your immediate whom you are
But
reporting.
when we are refused, you don't do this, it's not good for
Yeah.
you. So we don't take it in a good spirit. We yaar mujhe alone nahi karne ke liye. So how do you take that rejection or no from the authority?
Yeah. So that's what. It calls for again all this background knowledge only. Yes, it's not easy like that. Because generally we are all in this world. We are the boss, no? We are the Lord of all. And the Lord of all I survey. Prabhupada uses this phrase. I want to be the boss. I want to be the master. I want to be the Lord. That's why we are here. So similarly, any idea coming, it has to happen. Hare Baba, they are telling me there is some reason. And that preaching opportunity also you will get here. We have to be patient. That one of the understanding we should have. We should be patient in devotional service.
Dairya.
Utsaha, Nichya, Dairya, Tat Karma Pravartana, that Rupa Goswami thing. So we should have that patience and still pursue that. So now and then all this thing will come. We understand from the scripture, they are all for our own purification. Correct? We have to.
When temple got inaugurated, there were so many deities. You only had Krishna, Balaram, Nitai Gauranga and Prabhupada in that older temple, in that shed temple. Now we have 6 deities top, and then Utsava Murtis and Kautuka Murtis and Narsimha and Srinivas Govinda, Hanuman and Garuda. How did you manage those deities and pujaris and assistant pujaris, cooks? Because you just opened the temple and there is flood of deities and shortage of devotees, and you don't know how to worship them. In that sense, they'll operate. What we have to do, the highest standard is ISKCON Bangalore.
Correct.
Any such situations which you encountered, how did you manage
in
that?
fact, a year before or something itself, Jai Chaitanya Prabhu, when they are visiting different temples, he used to go to ISKCON, Mayapur, Vrindavan. We are all good friends, correct, those days? So all the head Pujari used to speak, and they were also welcoming, and they were teaching, learning. So J.C. Prabhu himself has gone through that. Then we made a manual, mantra chanting and all he taught. He was also learning. He is good in chanting mantra and all, like that. So this Kautuka Puja, to start with, we had that Saligram Puja, he taught us how to do. So getting ready for more and more devotees will get ready because when the deity installation happened, after that Sodosha Upachara we started from day one. So to get an idea, altar was also very small. So this Saligram will be taken and to Madhupandit Prabhu's office. Prabhu had inside office and outside meeting, small room only. But that is the place where behind that altar also it is. So we used to take after Mangalarti the Saligram and we used to teach us Shodosha Puja, how to do, with the manual was there and each Upachara, what we are doing to deities now, Radha Madhav here, same thing for the Saligram we are doing. So like that it started and elaborate deity, this thing, Pujari, number of Pujari, this, they're all young actually, it was a little tough. Anyhow, it was happening, all learning and assistant Pujari and all, very tough job. because we had later on over a period, then we reduced little, keeping the same standard, something. Like we used to have 5 Sodoshopachara plate in main temple 3 and down, Narasimha and Balaji also. Later on, they checked with a lot of authorized people in Sri Sampradaya and all. And the Saligram, what we are worshipping, were taken to RKC temple. So in that way, Narasimha and Balaji, we are not doing Shodashopachara later on. Because again, a lot of devotees are required and devotees falling sick. It was a big, this thing. Festival comes in between. A lot of challenges. Actually, Krishna only was running Prabhupada's mercy, it was going on.
So you were into fundraising, then you were asked to do Pujari services, and then 6 years you continued to do Pujari services. You were the head of the department of Pujari also. Then again you came back to the fundraising department, and you've been successful in doing so. You meet a lot of big shots and influential members of the society, connect them to Krishna consciousness. So how is the transition like?
Anyway, somehow I had a flair for collecting for Lord. Small way we were doing. I learned a lot of these techniques from one devotee was there in Muscat itself. He was working as a marketing guy, as a marketing manager or something in Delhi. I'm in touch with him now also. Nice person, one Rasa Krida Parayana. It's from Delhi only, Rajesh Sharma or something. Yeah, he used to give some technique how to go about all the things. So I had that natural flair, and before joining itself in Muscat, we were doing some small fundraising, organizing some program and drama, all this thing. We used to go and meet some corporates also like that, small way, whatever it is. So, yeah, in fact, I only stepped out. I only came out of Pujari department.
Your inner call that I can.
And I used to see only a couple of devotees are collecting good fund. Why others are what? Others are doing. I always, when the score is read for the pleasure of the Lord, I used to keep an ear open. So I used to hear that. I was always noticing only 2-3 devotees are doing good. Others, why they are not doing? We got a big temple, it should be easy. Like that I was thinking. Then that was the time I went to Madhupandit Prabhu. I told Prabhu I'll go and Akshay Patra had also started in the year 2000. So I told. So Prabhu said, okay, go and collect. And Chanchalapati Prabhu was again, no, Sridham, what, 5-star temple, you are a head Pujari, so much respect you will get that you are trying to. And the background is the younger devotees were doing all sort of things. I was not comfortable actually. Why to unnecessarily spoil our consciousness, correct? So I was just thinking something like that. I just put an offer like this. Then CPB told no. Then still he said okay, because the MPP has approved. No? So I went, I took that road. And he said okay, he gave a note. I am having the note still with me. He has signed it in October 2020. Yeah, October 2000, no? Yeah, 2000 I came out. First week I came out. So he is written, Sridham Krishna will be overseeing the Pujari deity worship in the morning hours, and he will be in the fundraising for next 6 months. After 6 months, he will come back. He gave a note like that. It was put in the notice board also, he gave me also. While giving itself, he told, I know you will never come back here. So like that, yeah. So it was nice going on somehow, some activity.
And any few guidelines or instructions for those would be fundraisers or those who are already into fundraising, how to meet people, how to convince them about Krishna consciousness, how to raise Lakshmi for the service of the Lord.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, in fact, everybody is doing now good only in fundraising. As our movement is growing, people are recognizing this. Particularly in a small temple, it's a little challenge. Recently, when we inaugurated last year, June, this Rajadiraj Govinda temple also. Before the temple construction was going on little by little here and there, and when he announced the date of inauguration and President of India is coming, temple work is happening, then when we go and ask money to the donor, they will all give actually. So people generally used to say, we are with you, why you are bothered, we'll give you, don't worry, let the temple come up like that. So we had to keep trying, we had to go meeting people, give prasadam, if we get a chance, tell about philosophy, tell about our activity. Also we have this Akshay Patra going on simultaneously. That is touching everybody actually, whether he is a devotee or a non-devotee. So all these positives are there. So we should go out and meet. Madhupandit Prabhu always used to say, don't worry about collection. You just try to hit more number of people. This is how it
This is
was.
the secret of fundraising.
That is the secret of fundraising actually. You have to meet. That too intelligently over a period of time. Just like going and meeting 10, 20 people, 30 people, not like that. Some actually, I still remember before temple inauguration 1997 itself, Madhupandit Prabhu used to see, we used to sit in a small preaching cabin, all of us had a small cabin. Prabhu again, when he goes up and down, you can see all of us. Hey, what are you doing, man? Sitting here and calling. We try to fix appointment and go. Prabhu used to say, no, you go out, Paramatma will guide. Like that Prabhu used to say. So we just try to take one contact of one person, one area, particularly today's, it's very traffic mess and all there everywhere. So you try to go to one locality and over a period of time actually. Initially it is tough challenge only because I gone with Ram Prabhu initially, nothing was there. I gone in Puri with Niranjan Bhakta, like that. Any center they starting, I gone earlier, I used to go do that. So it is a challenge only.
So when disappoint stays, I don't get any contacts, I don't meet them, or even if I meet them, I'm not convinced them. So those devotees who I'm not able to perform better, month after month my score is a little less. So they get disappointed and depressed. So what do you tell those devotees who are really working hard, but at the end of the day, it's not coming on paper?
Yeah, so philosophy is we have right to perform karmani evadikara mahaphaleshu kada. So we do our duty and we leave it to Lord. Do our duty to the best of our capacity. So again we can take the guidance of the older devotees in the particular center and the situation. They will be knowing more and they will also guide. We can take a senior devotee also if you are trying to meet some big people like that. We should start off actually. Then you can easily take off on your own. It's not a big, very simple. Anybody can do this fundraising actually. Even a Buddha like me can do fundraising. So it's not a big, no science. Only thing repeatedly we have to go meet people. This so that systematically we have to do that.
So you've been in decades of service. You maintained in the same ashram brahmacharya. So what do those, any suggestion to those who would love to be like that, be in saffron robes for life? Any point of suggestion in?
No, when we joined, I still remember Madhupandit Prabhu used to give a lot of time to all the devotees. He used to have a brahmacharya association like that. Some association he used to give, Ishtagoshti he used to give. So no, it's actually it doesn't matter. We know philosophically you can be situated wherever we are. We should be Krishna consciousness. So Prabhu used to always say we should be absorbed in the service. Whatever service you do, you should be absorbed. So if you are absorbed, there is no time for your mind to think of anything like that. It's all again Prabhupada's instruction only from morning 4 o'clock till night 10 o'clock. You should be engaged in some activity or the other in Krishna consciousness. Chant, read, do some service. So if you keep yourself busy, there is no time.
Basically, engagement is the key.
Engagement is required actually. If you are not properly engaged, then only the mind will go here and there. Okay, the situation is not good. Maybe if I change the ashram, it is not actually. Prabhupada says it's bothersome. You may think that it's like that. So not some great or credit to anybody like that. It's actually Lord's mercy only. So, if we can, actually, if you ask any other older, they never a thought, there's no question of thinking. Particularly, first few years, actually, you should be so absorbed. Because that is the time, no? You will, all these things will come up. You will, mind will give the tricks and technique. And as I was telling you, when I joined also, and before joining itself, I was thinking, oh, this Grahastha life in Muscat itself. Oh, they are all having nice life, family, children, car, house.
And still Krishna conscious also.
Yeah, so Krishna conscious. So it's just, it's like taking a little risk actually there. Somebody was pointing out recently, only now, around this TP meeting only. Most of our Grahastha ashram devotees are not that happy or something like that.
It's a reality. It's one reality.
So
it's true.
Like, because... So Madhupandit Prabhu, this always, I always remember this. He used to give this example. Just like when we are single, when you are brahmachari, we are dealing with only one mind.
One mind.
One senses, all these things. When you get married, then problem into two. Then you get a child, third into three, into four, like that. So problem multiplies. So if somebody can be like this, he can be free and he can be absorbed. And Prabhu always used to tell about, this example he used to give, and about this, we should develop rasa for kirtan. Prabhu used to tell actually that day.
So what is the rasa for kirtan makes brahmacharya easier?
Yes.
You say?
Yes. It should be absorbed, no? Kirtan. See, we are all looking for happiness, correct? Joy. So you see some people in devotee community also, whatever reason maybe, they will not participate in Kirtan. They will be standing pakka sadhana, they will be standing there, not even clapping or coming forward, dancing. Some people will be like that. So many things will be going on in the mind for those devotees. So, Kirtan, Prabhu used to tell this. Kirtan rasa, preaching or singing or following, if you are absorbed in all these things,
basically engagement, rasa for kirtan, rasa for preaching. So that keeps your fire for Krishna consciousness intact.
Fire. Again, take Prabhupada's example. So all Prabhupada's example is there for us. Because something or other he was keeping on doing actually.
So one question which I want to ask you personally in that sense. I don't know if I'm right to ask this question. Prabhu, when are you taking sannyasa?
Oh.
It's up to you.
Yeah. It is up to authority only. There is no... according to Prabhupada's teaching, sometimes Prabhupada used to give, sometimes devotees used to ask like that. So...
you don't have any attachment for being sannyasi or per se. अगर मिलता है तो लेंगे नहीं तो ठीक है चलेगा. Anyways, you're a sannyasi in that sense.
Yeah. Prabhupada, in the Bhagavad Gita also, Maharaj also, when he took sannyasi, he was always quoting this verse everywhere, correct? 6.1, what is that verse? Anashita karma phalam karyam karma karoti sasanyasi yogi cha naniragnena chakriya. So, practically Krishna is also demonstrating what is that sannyasa. We have to work for Krishna, that is important. Be in any ashram. Just like if you see our seniors, these Grahasthas, Madhupandit Prabhu, Chanchalapati, they are actually more than a sannyasi actually.
True.
Totally dedicated. They are just absorbed in the service of Krishna. That's what is called for. So we can be in any ashram, we can do.
We'll be waiting for you to take up sannyasa and then travel all across, meet devotees, enlighten all of us. That would be a pleasure for all of us to have you.
I love traveling and all.
The studio personality also to take up sannyasa.
I keep telling, sometime back also I told Chanchalapati Prabhu, maybe Prabhu I should now keep moving around and help the other devotees,
Yes,
what little I know, we should share along. So with performing, I'll do that level of performance there also. Give one more good hand like that, I told. So that is always a crunch is there. Anyhow, I had good team, some four 4 members are there. Things are going on by Lord's grace, Prabhupada's grace. I don't know.
Prabhu, I have observed you in ISKCON Bangalore, whether you are going to washroom or going to have prasadam, you keep hearing lectures of Prabhupada or you keep chanting the Bhagavad Gita verses. So for those devotees who are watching you, how much important is this for a devotee in the temple? What makes a difference if somebody does it and somebody doesn't do it, and how it has impacted your life?
Yeah, I have just copied from few devotees, few Prabhupada disciples also here and there where I met. You know, I had a natural flair again for hearing music in the sense. I am born, so-called, I am born in a Carnatic musician family. Though my father didn't take up that profession, his own 2 brothers, they were actually A-grade artists, singers, vocalists, Carnatic music. So somehow, again, I used to accompany my father in Bombay, a famous all is the Shanmukhanandal. Those days itself, 40 years before, it was Asia's largest auditorium like that it was there. So I used to go and my Periyappa, Doddappa used to sing. I used to go to give company only. I still remember when I was 10 years old, 50 years before actually. When I was 10 years before, when I was 10 years old, I had to go because again, while coming back, it will be late night. We had to come in train. Just to give company, I used to go with my father. And during Kirtan, so I have heard a lot of songs. I know, I also never got into detail. I can identify.
There's no formal training.
No formal training. I can identify the raga and tala like that little here and there. Songs many I know. I have seen all these big stalwart. For example, my Periyappa's, Doddappa's name was T.K. Rangachari. Of those, he is now almost 100 years he has completed also. Nobody has taken in his family. Big family, he had 7, 8 siblings. But none of them took directly. Grandchildren, they are doing here and there, online, all this. So that way, that hearing habit was there, and I used to love, like Lalgudi Jairaman, they're all just budding up, coming up actually.
At that time.
50 years before. So he used to play for my Periyappa. Then all Vidwans, later on, they are very big guys. My Periyappa used to give them only 2 rupees, 5 rupees, that was their fee actually. Like that they used to take, do namaskar. So I used to go basically after this concert, you will have a nice feast actually again there.
So feast has played a vital role during your childhood days or now when learning music along with your father and now also. Something which keeps you alive and kicking in Krishna consciousness.
So here also I have a flair for prasadam. So prasadam sarva dukha now. Bhagavad Gita also says.
Prasadam ki jai.
So that way, it takes you there.
Like you have the habit of
hearing. So this when I went to Muscat also, initially I bought some small, those days cassette recorder.
Walkman.
Video cassette recorder.
Also.
There on transistor, what is there? You can play on cassette. That was there. So moment I enter my room, I just push. I used to hear a lot of Lalgudi, Jairam's violin and all. Just like that hearing. So maybe all this thing was a factor. And when I came here, Prabhupada also says, just by chanting verses, hearing, we all know, hearing.
Because I remember you always carry that Prabhupada most quoted verses. Before taking class, or you want that book to be there compulsorily. I was wanting to have that book now. And you refer that quote. And so how important is that for budding devotees or aspiring devotees or practitioner devotees?
When I hear all this Prabhupada lecture also, Prabhupada very systematically, very logically takes you all this lecture he goes through. And like that we all used to take notes, correct? So I was taking notes, and if you see, Prabhupada talks of some point comes something like Mamchayo Abhyavsharena Bhakti Yogena Sevate Saguna Samati Taitam Brahma Bhuya Kalpate. The 14th chapter, the famous was how to transcend the modes. So whenever the topic comes, Prabhupada bring this sloka, immediately when he brings that aspect, if you see in that lecture, very soon he will come because this talks about Brahma Bhuta, coming to that spiritual platform. What is that Brahma Bhuta? Then immediately you quote from the 18th chapter, Brahma Bhuta, Prasanna Atma, na Soshyatina Kanksha. So like that and all, I always used to write down a verse number, and before this book came also, something like that and all I used to do. So that triggered, and this book is very helpful for preaching. Anybody, even anywhere you go, somebody asks some question, you may not remember the verse. So referring that, easily that idea will be there.
Christians quote Bible, always open the Bible and show.
Prabhupada himself says
That.
actually when you quote verses and all, it becomes authentic. That's why Prabhupada never said, I don't think, I feel, it's my opinion, all these words he uses. So Prabhupada like that he says also. We have to quote, then it becomes. I have observed this very good verse also, quoting also this, and Prabhupada's analogies are amazing actually. If somebody can quote that analogies and all. I have few intellectual fellows in devotees I come across, then later on they became big devotees. Very intellectual actually, already very. So that means, see, we may not be able to conceive all these things, but it really, how otherwise Prabhupada would have made all these Westerners devotees? Very challenging. So Prabhupada was considering all these things. So I like to hear, sometimes I get scolding also here and there, hearing because people quote, devotees quote, he is also hearing, and I used to hear little louder also. So, in fact, once I still remember Rasaraj Prabhu was giving a Sunday class maybe 15 years before us. So,
Bhaktivedant Institute, Rasaraj Prabhu.
Yes. So he was telling, so on congregation, very nice congregation he was there. He was sincerely, seriously practicing. But family members were not that great. They were coming to temple like that only. So at the end of the class, he was asking this question. So Prabhuji, this is the thing, how to go about. I want to take Diksha, I want to be fixed up in Krishna consciousness. Whereas my wife, my children, they are not that keen. Though they are not against me, they come to temple. So Rasaraj Prabhu told one thing, when we take to Krishna consciousness in the first place, we need not tell our near and dear one that I am becoming very spiritual, becoming Krishna conscious, all these things. We need not tell. Yes, we need not do that. And you just take silently, because unnecessarily you will get into trouble. That's what he was telling, I still remember. Just by telling them, that means you are becoming Krishna conscious, that means we are going to become Sanyas, you are going to leave us. Like that and all, they will conclude. So why to get into all those trouble? Just practice silently, keep coming, doing all this thing. And if you become sincere and serious in your practice, when they are also watching actually, everybody is watching us. So if they see, okay, he is sincere. Otherwise somebody takes a fashion, like a cult like that for a while, they try, they give it up. So if you become sincere and serious and practicing this, then they'll think, okay, he is serious, there is something into it. Why not me try? Let me also try. Like that they can come. So it's like that. So best thing is, we need not agitate them, we need not, if it's not that favorable situation also, silently we can do certain things. And eventually we can see they will definitely take to Krishna consciousness.
This question is very particular regarding Madhupandit Prabhu or Chanchalapati Prabhu, Jai Chaitanya Prabhu or His Holiness Stoka Krishna Maharaj. You have thickly been with them. You have seen in and out. As this generation devotee or future devotees, we are not gone through those hardships and struggles what they have gone through to get Prabhupada back to us. So can you share some life examples which can be motivating and inspiring all of us to revere and respect those senior Vaishnavas? Because we see as a neophyte devotees or उन्होंने ऐसे क्यों कर दिया? Why did they take these decisions? So we don't have a larger understanding about that. And being that great devotees, they don't even want to share those things what they went through or experiences. So any such instances from all these senior Vaishnavas which you want to share, by which we can appreciate their quality and other Vaishnavas can also learn from them.
See, Madhupandit Prabhu, when he was practicing, the other day he has openly told how we came into Krishna consciousness. He was about to take his own life, commit suicide, all this thing, correct? And he had made a lot of devotees also in IIT, Mumbai.
Especially he's known for this adventures, something which can, the adventures which he does, the boldness, but the risk-taking ability for Prabhupada.
Yeah, so this Madhupandit Prabhu, he was, when this our Guru issue broke out, and he was, in fact, some of you will be knowing how this July 9th letter was, all those things,
No, it is not. You can share, Prabhu.
July 9th letter, Prabhu at 1997, our temple inaugurator, Bangalore, Radha Krishnachandra temple. 1998, Delhi temple inauguration was there, Ram Navami day. So Prabhu also had been there, and as usual, many leaders were there. So that same Rasaraj Prabhu of Bhaktivedant Institute, he has stuck that July 9th letter in all the rooms actually, in the door room, he had tucked. And many of them, they were knowing what was going on in ISKCON, this the Guru system, because many of them are pre-77 disciple also, Prabhupada disciple, our Indian devotees, like Adridharan Prabhu, Mahaman Prabhu, like many of them were there. So, when Madhupandit Prabhu was also a general secretary, he was handling a lot of legal thing of ISKCON India. ISKCON India, he was dealing. After the meeting and all got over, last day it was stuck, and he came, he saw some paper, okay, he just took it, opened the door, he went inside, he just saw this letter, okay, he just kept it in his bag, and next day he was traveling, I think. And he came home, and actually Prabhu has only one single room like that, and in that one table was there. In the table, a final order was given by one, I think Trivikrama Swami, one white skin sannyasi, Western sannyasi. He had given in this final order book way back in 1993, almost 5 years before he received that. But Prabhu was so busy in constructing, in building the temple, yes. Though he is a voracious reader, somehow he never went through this book. So it was all Lord's plan and Prabhupada's plan actually. Otherwise, maybe our temple project also would have been delayed and all these things. So Prabhu came, and that particular day, that book was there, and Prabhu just took that book in his hand, and he was just scrolling the few pages, and there he sees something similar to this. The July 9th letter what Rasaraj Prabhu had kept, and here the same letter is there. Then he thought, what is this? Then he started reading that. Then he went through all the final order book thoroughly, 2-3 times he would have read, I think. By then actually Madhupandit Prabhu, Chanchalapati Prabhu knew there are some issue in our Guru system. Because in India, Guru never falls down like that. But in ISKCON, those days, silently they used to come and whisper actually, so-and-so has fallen down. And social media was not there, it will not come out actually. So they'll all cover it up. So this was going on. And then Madhupandit Prabhu got convinced, oh, this is the issue.
This happened in 98 in ISKCON Delhi temple where they met.
The letter he gave, so he came back to Bangalore. He first read for himself in Bangalore actually. Then he started speaking to Chanchalapati Prabhu, Jai Chaitanya Prabhu and Stoka Maharaj. So they were discussing. He also told all of you also go through the folio, figure out more and more things like that. So Madhupandit Prabhu, when he read and they discussed, they also figured out, yeah, this is the thing. So they are not properly appointed like that as a guru, one sort of guru like that. Then discussion. Then slowly, that was the time. Then Madhupandit Prabhu was calling 3-4 devotees daily, 9:30 to 3:30 in the morning, and it was going for 6 months. And in that, many devotees were convinced. Prabhu told, you are all intelligent boys. You just go through the folio, you read. You have any question, you ask me. I am not forcing anything upon you. But this knowledge I come to know, I want to share. Being the leader, I have to share. It's my responsibility. Like that he started. In that, few devotees told, no, Prabhu, no, whatever you are telling, no, you need a living guru, like that. Okay, if you want to go to Mayapur or Vrindavan, I will even give a letter, they will accept you like that. Few of them went also, like 4 or 5 devotees went like that. So this was going on. Then the same thing was, Prabhu had planned to convey to the congregation. There also he chose the senior, so he can give more information like that. So when this information only went out, so that was conveyed to Maharaj. So that is where all the issues started and things are going on. So Prabhu immediately told, these 2 things can happen. They'll remove me from the ISKCON. Second thing, they can do some personal harm. But I am willing to take the stand. And so then he was speaking to Adridharan Prabhu and all. So they have a good relationship also. So things were going on. Then after this, all the senior leaders came to Bangalore also, a lot of discussion. Krishnakant had come, who had written, author of this final order. He also came and all this thing. A lot of question answer up and down. Devotees are asking, they are answering, all this thing was going on. Then came first. After he got the message that we are rejected him, he came and all this thing. Dairam Prabhu also had come that day. So Dairam also said he knows everything actually. And he was also junior to Madhupandit Prabhu in
IIT Bombay.
And he said, Madhu, yeah, we are all together like that or not. Suddenly he changed the table actually. And you should have seen Madhupandit Prabhu. I still remember ashram entrance only. That near notice board. He was so angry like, because he was one of the core person. Prabhu was banking on him. And here he stands. Something he said, no, like that. So that was
he changed the ship from Ritvik to anti-Ritvik.
Yes. So that was a very hurting Madhupandit Prabhu. Like that it started. And later on also, actually, Prabhu has, in many Ishtagoshti has said, they were trying so many ways to somehow or other to entangle him, some court case, this, that, and all. When the court case, later on, court case and all came, we all know. Again and again, actually, Krishna somehow he had some people to come and convey this message, and he escapes like that many times. So in the Ishtagoshti, he used to say, like I was on the edge of the table, I thought I'm finished, I'm gone. But somehow miracle happened, Krishna comes and Prabhupada protects, things are going on. So like that. Because they were also in the opposite camp, they are speaking, just wait for 3 months, Madhupandit Prabhu will be removed, like that and all. They are talking in 1999. Already 25 years over actually. So like that. So he had a strong faith in Prabhupada and Krishna's protection. Actually, what is doing this soulful japa, Prabhu had a strong faith right from the beginning actually in chanting and all this. I still remember in 1997 when the temple was inaugurated and lot of newspaper is carrying message, magazines like India Today and local Karnataka, Sudha magazine, this, that. Everywhere they are coming and interviewing Prabhu. Prabhu is telling, generally they will ask, what is the secret of success of building the temple? So Prabhu always used to say, see, we have this morning routine. We all get up at 4:30, attend Aarti, all these things. And we all sit together and chant. All the devotees sit in the temple hall and chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So because of that, it manifested like that. Prabhu had strong faith from those days. Now it is manifesting in this form of soulful japa and book and all like that. So this he has got a very, very strong faith.
And regarding Chanchalapati Prabhu, he was always a second man. He never came to the limelight like Madhupandit Prabhu. He always was behind the scenes. Anything about Chanchalapati Prabhu which you would like to share that devotees can learn and appreciate such Vaishnavas, Prabhu?
He is totally surrendered actually to whatever Madhupandit Prabhu says. He'll just implement that. Of course, he'll also try to give reason, whatever is said before coming to that. Somehow, we used to, few of our temple body members, we used to talk like that. If we have one set of Madhupandit Prabhu and Chanchalapati Prabhu in our group can go to next level like anything, big bang like that.
Yes.
So that combination is like that, and is totally how we joined also, because Madhupandit Prabhu was the instrument in making Chanchalapati Prabhu devotee. So like that, and he used to, when he was in college, he used to come, so Prabhu used to spend some time and preach like that. And one of his friend only brought him to this ISKCON satsang like that. And later on, once I think before joining also, he was going to Mayapur temple before joining itself. And he goes to Mayapur temple, and those days some Vaishnava song and all, Nitai Pada Kamala, something like that. Prabhu MPP used to explaining. So a very nice thing, if you get mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, that is ultimate like that and all. So, and there he goes, and festival and all, it's wonderful in Mayapur. Then on the way back, this CPP has always mentioned this in his association to folk boys, that on the way back coming from Mayapur, he comes and Mayapur, so many doors like that, the big temple building, long temple building, many officers go, where to come, where to go, more confusion actually. Today also, it's much more actually. So like that. So Prabhu, something he forgot, he went and he was trying to come back and to the bus or something like that. Then he just opened the door, he goes to the thing, actually it happened to be our Maharaj's office. And there you see lot of files and all, correct? Just like you
working
see,
on
computers and lot of files and so many things are lying. So then he used to tell, I thought when he was coming as a student from the college itself, okay, morning full packed program, everybody is there, then class is over, breakfast. I thought you go and sleep, that's what I was thinking. But when I saw this, oh, that means he had a lot of work to do. See, making the files and all, seeing the files, no, you can figure out actually. So like that, Prabhu used to tell. So spiritual life is not just doing puja, this thing, then honoring prasadam, sleeping, no. We have to work for Krishna. So when I saw that, oh, if that is the case, then so much work is there. We can also
so that inspired him to take up seriously Krishna consciousness.
Yes. He was already on the verge of joining, I think, something like that. And yeah, here is a man, he is doing so much. So like that. You see it now also, if you go to CPP's office, so many files and everything will be there. So like that. And very simple Prabhu, very considerate. In fact, he was, I think, one of the topper, I think, in Indian Institute of Science also. Some other devotee was telling, but he never even mentioned in the house that he is topper and all like that. Like that he is...
so he didn't even mention to his parents that he's a topper?
He is a topper and all.
Chanchalapati Prabhu.
That's what I heard from somebody else. One of the topper, within 3 years or something, in the Indian Institute of Science. So like that, very... we are very fortunate actually. We can learn a lot of things, particularly those who are closely connected with them in service actually. And just like we may think that, see, somebody is becoming leader or he is getting some promotion, I am not getting. So he is constantly waiting actually, whether there is a spark in some leaders, whether he is a leadership material.
He's waiting for us.
He is actually waiting. He is, wherever he goes, wherever he travels, he is always looking at that. Because we need more and more leaders who can take the lead, leadership, who has got that ability. So somehow he has got that special blessing and mercy. He can figure out actually. And then he trains also.
Janmohan Prabhu, Achyuta Prabhu, and all those.
Yes. That batch, 2000 batch and all. Like that, they are all ATC, Assistant Temple Commander those days. Like that. And now also he's always on the look. So he'll keep an eye during chanting time. Through the movement, he has got some special blessings. He can figure out properly that.
Regarding Jai Chaitanya Prabhu, anything? Because he was in the farm, working hard, separated from devotees in that sense, developing the farm community.
Yeah, maybe this also you would have heard, I don't know. Jai Chaitanya Prabhu actually was somewhere in Kerala at that time. And he had done some graduation and he was spiritually inclined. And somehow somebody asked in Kerala that, so this is my real liking, I would like to join some organization, spiritual organization.
Okay, it was there from the beginning for him.
Little it was there, at least around the time before he joined, that was the constant thing. So he asked some of his friend or somebody like that, he only mentioned that. So they mentioned, there is one Madhu Shiv Shankar, Prabhu, Madhupandit Prabhu, the earlier name of Madhu Shiv Shankar Menon. So somehow it so happened, it's all Lord's arrangement again. They told, there is someone, Malayali person, is somewhere in Bangalore, ISKCON like that. We are in a small rented apartment that time. So it so happened and Prabhu, Jai Chaitanya Prabhu called from there.
From Kerala, he called up Bangalore. Spoke to Madhupandit Prabhu.
Spoke to Madhupandit. He said, see, I would like to come and do some survey. I would like to join. Madhupandit Prabhu has always been the correct. Both of them, actually, if you see Chanchalapati Prabhu and Madhupandit Prabhu, actually, I always tell he is transcendental only. He has nothing to do here. He is always in spiritual thought and spiritual world person like that, Vaikuntha man. Those so many things he is handling and all. So whereas Chanchalapati Prabhu is a detailed person, anything means systematic, he'll write note, try to understand, get information, all this. So he called, Jai Chaitanya Prabhu called Madhupandit Prabhu and he said, I would like to come and join like that. Madhupandit Prabhu, yes, you come. Like that he straight away told. Next day, Jai Chaitanya Prabhu lands in ISKCON. So Prabhu himself told, when I came to temple also, I don't know what ISKCON stands for. I thought something ISKCON. So like that Prabhu came. And then you see so much service he is doing now. The early days that when he joined, standard, a lot of activities they were doing. He was doing, looking at, taking care of agarbattis also in the early days. First it started from Chanchalapati Prabhu, then Jai Chaitanya Prabhu was handling agarbatti, Goloka. Then he was acting temple thing, he was taking care of a temple commander. Then that farm project came, somehow he has some inclination for that, so he got that service also. He developed the farm like anything, nothing was there. Early 90s, 93, 92, 93 and all. Nothing was there. We had some very good contact in Bangalore, well-wisher of temple. His brother was in close to that Srirangapatnam or something. So he was getting us some piece of land from different agriculturists, all these things, farmers. So like we took lot of interest, lot of austerity. And that way Prabhu is, he is also super fixed up actually.
Super fixed up.
He's, even many of you may be knowing, may not be knowing, he drives his own car in Bangalore and he goes to Mysore, he owns self-drives.
During COVID, he had traveled all the way up.
He came to Vrindavan, Jaipur and all. So basically, he says, I want to be active like that. So he is a very austere person. And everything all these three Prabhus, their hand is there. In temple, management, deities connected thing, devotees making, everything, they were only dealing that. So, and a very nice person, very intellectual also, spiritually also. He also reads a lot. Deity worship, he has mastered. Chanting mantras, he has learned. A lot of austerities, actually. He goes extra mile. And anybody working with him also, he trains them nicely, so like that he was very attached to deities. He knows all the intricacies.
And when recently when someone from the other side talked ill about Chanchalapati Prabhu and Madhupandit Prabhu, he was the first one to tell that no, you should give it back or should counter, at least give a reply to them. And Madhupandit Prabhu just said it, you don't want to reply. Then he called Maharaj there, Gopal Krishna Maharaj, and then
yeah, he acts like because he also knows he is in touch with many Srila Prabhupada, 377 disciples. He is playing that role also, yeah. Yesterday before, 2-3 days before the meeting was there, that the directive management, DOM, was one more document that, our May 28 conversation. That Rupanuga Prabhu, also Prabhupada disciple, white skin, he was there around that time. And Prabhu has a touch with him. So it so happened, I think we were discussing something, Prabhu called him. So he came on the line and like that and all. Then anyway, his tape and all is there. So Prabhu is in touch with many people in the opposite camp also, who are all well-wisher for us. So that way is playing a very important role.
And regarding our His Holiness Stoka Krishna Maharaj.
Stoka Maharaj, everybody will be knowing, is very soft spoken, very patient. He preaches and preaches actually.
Never gets tired, continuously he'll speak.
Continuously can preach, go on talking about Krishna. I remember early days also, 93, 94, 95 and all, 1995. When he was going and preaching to young boys like that, no, he's not like the passionate way, he's a real Krishna folk preacher and all. We'll try to give philosophy, chant, all the things, then we want him to join us. That is a good sign only. But Stoka Maharaj will not at all bother. He'll go on giving philosophy, preaching.
He said that in fact, Chanchalapati Prabhu never asked me to do anything. He just went on preaching and I said, I want to do this.
Like that he was there. Very, very austere person again actually. And how he came in touch. He came in touch with ISKCON in US somewhere. He was working. And there he came in touch and he used to go and do pot washing and all this service he was doing in America. And then
this frankly speaking session we started with him only for the first time.
Okay.
in that story, in that podcast he had told all these things.
Okay. So it's very interesting. And he also goes extra mile. All this Bhagavatam translation, Chaitanya Charitamrita in Kannada.
Bhagavatam translation.
Everything Maharaj has only done. He used to organize a lot of scholarly people of Bangalore and Karnataka and take English book and ask them to write equivalent like that. And proofreading, he used to engage some congregation devotees, some temple devotees, mother, like that and all. So, very, very sattvic. Actually, sannyasa what he got few years before is just external. He was living a life of sannyasa.
Long before he got sannyasa.
He was living a life like that only. Very considerate, he eats very little and speaks always about Krishna. So, wonderful person actually. He will spend so much time. He can give time to anybody, irrespective of whether he's a bhakta or whatever it is. You go to Maharaj for anything, he'll spend time. He'll not see the time also. So like that, we are fortunate. They are grounded, and that way in this group of devotees, we are all fortunate We know in the other camp also, they are nice soul, but somehow they got stuck up there. And here it's very clear, everybody is crystal clear what we are heading for, what we are going for. Yeah, all different.
Because it was very important to know them, because they won't say from their faith. Even if you ask, or sometimes, at least devotees, we who have no access to them in that sense per se, should know what and all hardships they went through to get us what we have. That was my intention of asking all these questions.
In fact, Stoka Maharaj used to say when he was, they were staying in a 1-bedroom or 2-bedroom flat, they used to sleep in the night. Rat used to come and eat their feet and all, actually. It was like that. Lot of tough situation, austerities they have gone through. And today we are enjoying all this because of them. So whatever we are doing in our service, anybody in our group, we should all actually contribute. It doesn't matter, like Prabhupada says, whether you are a big devotee or small devotee. Everybody can contribute so that the whole mission of Srila Prabhupada, we are trying to revive and bring it back to the original color. To some extent, whatever we can, we are very few only. But still how Prabhupada and Krishna is reciprocating. We saw when we went to this Boston temple inauguration. It's amazing actually. Madhupandit Prabhu in his first talk there also he said, in just 6 or 7 years, such a wonderful thing has come about. So it's all, so Lord is willing, He is waiting actually. Only thing we are, Chanchalapati Prabhu also always used to say, we are not sincere. If we are sincere, everything will fall in place. More devotees will join, projects will come up. So we should all become serious and sincere. These are the words Prabhupada again and again uses. And in our service, in our activity, in our dealing, if we become, actually that will be glorious.
You were there in the US recently, so is it promising to take off further more centers or preaching? How do you see that?
Yeah, everywhere actually there are people calling us, inviting us, because this group, our ISKCON Bangalore group, what we are doing is amazing actually, particularly in the Western, if you compare with the West, hardly there are temples and visitors, they don't come. They talk of prasadam. On Janmashtami, they distribute 4,000, 5,000 plates of prasadam. It's a big number there. Here you see in Ahmedabad, you see it in Bangalore, Jaipur, everywhere. Lakhs and lakhs of people are getting all these things. So people are looking upon us. The same thing we can see, a lot of opportunity, more places we will eventually get into. We are only short of leaders actually. So all this, if we all become sincere and serious and strictly trying to follow to the best of our ability Prabhupada's instruction, the whole treasure is waiting. So it is up to us. A lot of opportunity there also for expansion, different states, things are coming up. So, yeah. Only 4 or 5 devotees are doing this miracle everywhere there. In Boston, there only 4 or 5 devotees are there. That's all. 2, 3 maybe sevak there. What they have done is amazing. And in fact, Sadanand Prabhu is having a health issue also. Real complicated health issue is there. Still, he is also pushing. So, Prabhupada will bless them like anything. Very tough preaching in America. Monday to Friday, everybody is so busy. And weekend you have to catch them. So, a lot of challenges.
Any final words for all those devotees, especially temple devotees who are watching this?
Yeah, we should, as far as possible, we should follow everything is there for us in writing now. Srila Prabhupada has given everything. And in the early 80s and all, Chanchalapati Prabhu also used to mention, these are all not documented properly. But today everything is available, it is there in the net, you go to the Google, you get everything. Prabhupada is nectars, all these things. So that instruction what we read during Mangala Arati also, if we try to remember that and daily practice, it will be very nice actually. We have to push, we have to do our sadhana nicely. If we do sadhana nicely, most of our problem in spiritual life is taken care of. Then do our service again to the best of ability. And Krishna has given us, all of us, different set of intelligence. We can crack whatever service we are doing, we can excel in that. Even if somebody is cleaning the pot, he can cleanse it nicely. We are going to attract Krishna more than attracting our immediate authority or a temple commander. That's all okay. This as a part of the hierarchy, management and all Prabhupada created. But direct service, anybody doing Pujari service, assistant Pujari, cook, assistant cook, it's actually a very austere job. But if you do that, if you have that faith, Krishna and Prabhupada will reciprocate like anything. So nothing new, we have to just follow. Prabhupada has given us everything elaborately. When we are high, when we are low, we again go to that same Prabhupada. Books, lectures, instructions, conversation, morning walk. So many things are there now. So we should be absorbed in this rather than getting into other things like comparison, jealousy, enviousness. So we should get away from all these things and try to focus. The purpose for which we have come, we have taken this decision. Brahmanda Brahmite Kone Bhagavan Ji Guru Krishna Prasade Bhai Bhakti Lata Bhi. We have been wandering, we have been doing all those things in so many lifetimes. Now that we have come in touch, so we should utilize to our best capacity actually. These are the few thoughts. With this, I'll stop. Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Sri Sri Radha Madhav ki
Jai.
Thai Gaura Prema.